So we were just speaking to Dean there, saying Saturday is a huge game. Why do you think it's so big?
Yeah, it is. It's for a number of reasons. I think the results and the points we've accumulated in the last few weeks haven't been exactly what we wanted. So yeah, it's a chance to go into the break. It's a much needed break for us just now, and have a little bit of reset and rethink about things. But yeah, it's important that we go there and be as strong as we can.
Come on to the game in a second, but talking about a much needed break, you are really down to the bare bones, aren't you? What can the break do for you fitness wise, and how are you looking injury wise? You're going to be a lot stronger in 4 or 5 weeks? Yeah,
we're still assessing a couple today for the game, so it's going to be a kind of last minute call on a few players for tomorrow. We've had to maintain kind of monitor a lot of the players' workload as well recently with the amount of games and sessions, and it's been a busy schedule for a lot of the players. So yeah, we'll come at a time and we'll individualise everyone after that and see what they need and see how much rest they need, and we'll be better for it at the back end of it.
Well, reflecting on the first half of the season, how would you say it's gone? Obviously it's your first half of the season as a manager.
Yeah, I think there's things we can do better for sure. There's things we need to improve. I understand when I came into the job and when we took over here that we were going to have difficult spells this season. That was going to happen. We understand that. I accepted that. It's not where we want to be. Like as highlighted after the game, I think there's been a lot of good stuff. I think we've been really competitive in every game we've played, every league game we've played. We approached the game against Celtic slightly differently from the cup game we played, where we tried to get after them early and press a little bit higher earlier, but then it was ultimately towards the end of the game they took over, and that was something that we wanted to change, and we wanted to approach slightly differently to a certain extent. Yeah, the first half wasn't perfect, but we were still well in the game, and then we were a little bit more aggressive. We were playing the second half, I think. So in terms of that, yeah, still again coming away without the points we wanted. I think that's something we will continually work on. We'll continually work in that process of really being clinical when we get into those chances, and when we're in certain scenarios within the game, being better. Bringing a better version of yourself individually on a match day is important. So yeah, there's a lot we can be better at for sure, but we understood where we were at when we took over here.
You say the break does come at a great time. You need to improve, be more clinical. Are you confident that can happen, that you're going to have a few weeks off, but a few weeks training as well, perhaps you didn't really have at the start of the season, given the way you came in? Are you confident you can come back better, more improved?
Ideally you'd have the full pre-season to work with them and assess and really put your stamp on things. I think that's a vital part of any season. Of course it's never a perfect world, but yeah, we'll use absolutely every minute of the break, myself personally, to see how we can improve things here. As I said, there's a lot of good things, a lot of players playing at a decent level, but that's an everyday process of how we get better. I give absolutely everything to what we're doing here. I believe in the work we're doing and the effort and the support we've got. It's important. As I said, the last couple of results haven't been great. It's been really tough fixtures as well, but it's important we stick together and we improve and we constantly work as hard as we can, and like we do every single day here.
Will the message be to the players, Stevie, be that they need to push that a little bit further with the last game, like every other team will be doing, to get yourselves in a more comfortable position? Yeah,
there's still not a lot in the league. I think a couple of wins, a couple of a momentum swing, cut 2 or 3 results, and you're back where you want to be pretty much. I think the players have gave us a lot. We've asked a lot of the players so far, and they've stood up to that. I think, that's the message as a club, as a staff, fans. Just one last push before the window. It's another very, very tough game, but like you were touching on earlier, it's a massive game for us. It's important we go into the break as positively as we can.
Did you expect the league to be this competitive at this stage of the season? Just 2-3 points are separating 3rd and 8th at the minute?
Yeah, I don't think. We've played everyone. I don't think there's a lot in it at all. I don't think there's a lot in the teams out with the top 2. Obviously, I think Celtic, that game the other night highlighted where they're at. I think it's one of the best teams we've seen in the league for a few years now. I think it's a team that's really doesn't have many weaknesses at all. They're very strong in every aspect of their game, and every position they're very, very strong. So out with the top 2. I don't think there's much in it at all. Like you say, there'll be momentum swings, there'll be teams that have a little bit of form. I think our fixtures have been very difficult recently in terms of what we've had to approach it with as well. After the break, there is a run of fixtures that are more appealing to us in terms of the points we can, gather during that. But like I said, and like I say every week when I sit here, without repeating myself, every single game's tough. There's not much in this league at all between any of the teams out with the top two. There's not much in it at all, and I think the league shows that.
You mentioned a few walking wounded that you haven't been saying for a while. They're bonds, but you get some quite serious injuries to guys like McKinstry, McGarvey, Van Veen and McGinn. Is there any kind of update with this?
Yeah, there'll be obviously a couple's going to be out for a longer period of time, and there's a few that will need to make a decision today and maybe even tomorrow on. So yeah, we don't have that kind of group of players sitting in the wings waiting for us to come and use them and bring them into the fold, if you like. Every single senior player that we have at the club has been on the pitch. In the Celtic game, maybe apart from Barry Maguire's probably the only senior player that we have at our disposal that didn't come on the pitch against Celtic. So that's kind of where we're at with it. So it's important we give these players as much chance as they can to be ready, because we're going to need them.
Is this break going to be really good from that point of view?
Yeah, it is. Like I said before, it's a chance for us to reassess, give the players that need a little bit extra, and then the players that need a little bit of rest, give them that also. But yeah, so that gives us the best chance. As I say, we're not looking at the break yet. We're fully approaching this game with everything we've got, and then after the break we'll be stronger for it.
Might you have to ask players to kind of play when they maybe wouldn't usually do, because you've got that 4 or 5 weeks coming up now?
Yeah, I think we're already past that stage. I think we're already asking the players to do that. I think there's a few that probably wouldn't in an ideal world. I mean, Saul not starting the game the other night was pretty much because of that. His workload and his training load's been very low in terms of where we want him to be and what he can actually give us, and he's been brilliant for us, and he stepped in and he came in early. And he done really well. He came in and done really well. So yeah, but I think we're already asking the players to go a little bit beyond that already. But that's the type of lads they are. That's the type of squad that we've got, and the environment and the culture in there is strong, and they're willing to do that. And they're willing to push through it for me, for each other, which is pleasing.
One of those games where you can kind of use that kind of attitude. You maybe your backs are against the wall, you're up against it. You can go out and
yeah, absolutely. It's the togetherness that we've got within the group, even though the results haven't been, perfect. They've been tough games, as I keep mentioning. But the togetherness and the environment that we've got, even we're not happy at all losing games at all. But considering where we're at, the environment and the culture and the mood in the squad is still positive. So yeah, that's, as I say, that's the high. That reflects well on the boys and the mentality of the boys we've got in there.
It doesn't get any easier really. St Johnstone's form, especially at home, has been excellent in recent weeks. A tough kind of challenge again.
Yeah, I mean, like I said there, every single game's tough. There's not a fixture you look at and you think, okay, that's fine, we'll go there and we'll pick up points easily enough. It's not going to be like that. We've already seen that this season. They're a tough team. They can make the game difficult for you, but they've also got individual talent within their squad, within their starting 11 especially, and their home form's good. So, as I said, we need to look no further than that to realise how difficult a game it's going to be.
And just ask you about the break. Will it give you a chance maybe to look ahead to January? Obviously, you had very little time to do transfer business in August.
Yeah, that's vital. I mean, the work we do in January is going to be massive for us. I think that's clear. It's obvious. It's a constant process. That's not something that we set aside, a certain spot for. That's something that we're constantly looking at. We were in here till late last night, looking at potential January summer recruitment. What we can do, what we can't do. I mean, that's a constant process, and that's something we look at every single day. But yeah, it's clear that what we do in January is going to be huge for us this season.